2 hours of trading, maybe 2 clean hours of trading at the open before this thing kind of gets dusted back, you're already starting to get a little bit of fade back. But I would anticipate today you're going to get like a whole bunch of chop, a couple shakeouts, a couple double Lutsies, a couple triple Lutsies. But the double Lutsy is really a lot of heartburn, man, because you're leaning one way, then you go shake and bake, and then you go double Lutsy, and who knows where you end up. So watch this thing. You may come back and retest yesterday's lows, but then you're going to probably pop. I anticipate all over the place. One thing to remember is that the market itself is kind of thinking, all right, we're not going to, they're looking for the Federal Reserve to not raise interest rates today. If they raise interest rates, obviously, the market is donezo. But if they don't raise interest rates and the market still doesn't pop, then the market is donezo, right? If you end up, right, like kind of like the Federal Reserve says something good or bad or whatever, and the market starts to rise, then that's awesome. And, we may get a pop for a while. We've been, kind of in this range for really like a huge amount of time now. It's been a couple months. So we've got to be able to, we're going to have to be able to do what we got to do and shred the way we got to shred. That's for sure. Let's take a look. So the SPY also, really nailed yesterday. Came back and retested Friday's low. Friday was nasty. And, frankly, yesterday the action was pretty damn nasty. I don't know if this was Friday or Monday, but whatever, on the 17th. The action's been nasty. Any strength we're getting in the markets is getting faded off. The market is guilty till proven innocent. You cannot trust any longs in this market more than a handful of minutes. There are longs out there, but you can only trust it for a few minutes. You're getting like what would be like normally like sick bounce setups. We were like looking at bouncing this Labu yesterday. Boy, that was not a good idea. We were thinking like maybe this Labu was going to ORB yesterday, and it popped up for like a second, and it's just fucking trending down all damn day, right? Like the money is on the short side. I was laughing about it when I was reviewing my trades because I'm like, we did take it for the ORB, and I sold it real quick because the market started to roll over. I was reviewing my trades yesterday, and I'm like, fuck. Like, if I had just reversed this thing, man, I would have crushed it, right? I would have crushed it. It would have been the best day ever, right? If I just shorted this thing. So, the money is definitely on the short side right now. And, so we've got to just be mindful of that. But also, just remember, right, the double Lutsy and the triple Lutsy's in play today. On the watch list, let's go. FDX has earnings out. Transportation companies, FDX, UPS, like things like that, right? Transportation companies in general, right? They're like a clue. They're not a clue, but people look at them as a clue to what's happening in the general economy, right? When transports are slow, people think the economy is slowing. The reports, from FDX or like a UPS, like these guys, these trannies that are like getting smoked like that is never really good. People get freaked out when they see stuff like that. So that's something we're going to have to be super mindful of when we come into this thing. So keep both those on the watch list. This MU is getting crushed. Right now, you got 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, Amy. Already starting to break its way back down. I would suspect that, this one also is on watch for an ORB or some type of quick pullback buy when we see this bad boy. Man, it's nasty, right? That's for sure. So let's put that on watch. And one thing to remember with, these type of plays like MU is, well, frankly, this thing's already been getting dusted for months. But something like this, like if it really starts, like the selling starts to get like crazy on it, it could take down the whole sector, which semiconductors is one of the bigger sectors in the market. So that can put a lot of pressure in the general market. And so you definitely don't want to see that, right? When you have like really big companies that are like 30, 40, 50, $60 billion companies, when they have good earnings reports on, they gap up. right? It lifts the indexes up, and then, right, the momentum begets more momentum, and you're really in the shred zone. But when you get the bad ones, it adds even extra heat. The market's already weak enough, right? We're already having enough trouble, right, to the long side. Now what happens is, you know, the market's already having enough trouble. Then you get a company like MU that's like a bellwether, and they're down 6-7% pre-market. It really lays a lot of pressure on the tech index, which has been already, right, like a disastrous trader, right? Every bounce is getting shorted. You know, overall, this thing is going to be nasty. I think for the watch list today, I got this XPO on watch list for a short. Any spikes are green into this one. I think that we're going to have some downside on this. We had a nice short in this thing yesterday into the close. You know, you could see like now it's a bear flag on the daily, and you made lower highs yesterday. Once it kind of fizzled under that VWAP, we called that the VWAP fizzler, right? Then this thing started to really get dusted down. Any kind of pop into these resistance zones today, you know, maybe 53.50 or any type of quick pop. I'll look to potentially reshort this one and see if it can fizzle out. The volume is still actually pretty good in this one. Keep some of these reverse ETFs on the watch list. TZA and TVIX. Obviously, this TVIX has got like a big zone right here at this like kind of 60. You know, it peaked over there for a hot second yesterday. Peaked over there for a hot second, but it actually closed under it. Go figure, right? This 60 is like a rock, right? Like a hard rock. So if it can kind of bust through it at some point today and actually hold, this has got a lot of, right? This has got a lot of potential, right? Upside to it. Where can it go? Nobody knows. This has been a great daily trader for us, though. You know, when it opens up a week like this, it oftentimes goes red to green. Like yesterday, you see the gap down, and then it started to, right, pop its way back. Today, it's opening week. We'll start to watch and see if it holds at the open and starts to trend back. You know, the one thing with TVIX, hit it on strength, right? Like, let it pop and then dip, pop and dip, pop and dip. That's when you want to take this thing and get this thing going. Dun, 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 dun. Is my feet coming in a little choppy for you guys today? Boom, 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 boom. Who knows? Okay, cool. Thanks, Eric. Dun, 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 dun. Where did we go? SCO. SCO. So you got to break out over here. We might get one more day on this thing. You are getting to the top of the Bollinger Band. If this thing is opening weak and we flush out at the open, we'll watch this one for potential rebound, and the rest of this thing is junk. Anybody hit this DWT yesterday? Fuck, man. I had 1,500 shares of this thing at 1,590 into the close. I fucked up the trade. You can see here after that big pop, right? Like you get these kind of like pullbacks on these momentum names. When they start to round like that and you start to make higher lows, they can really ramp up. I just sold this thing too quick. Part of the reason I think I got to do, and when I was talking to this about, you know, with the mentorship group and boot camp is, you know, like if you use like a hard stop on some of this stuff, it kind of takes a little thinking out of the game, thinking out of it, and you're able to kind of let that thing develop and do what it's got to do. But like oftentimes, you know, multitasking, I was trading cryptos yesterday and stocks and TVIX, and I was all over the place, and I just kind of buggered myself out of the trade. I should have just put a hard stop and so I don't have to think about it, right? Rather than multitasking and having to watch everything in every couple minutes. So, guys, keep these ETFs on the watch list. I expect a little shake and bake today. Don't be Don't overtrade and don't overstay your welcome. If the market's acting choppy for a couple days, or, you know, after a couple hours, just bail. There's going to be more than enough stuff to do today. Watch this DGAS, UGAS today too. They've been having some pretty good momentum. So let's go do what we got to do, and let's go have a little fun. All right. Peace.